Alright, so today let's talk about something different, but just as exciting, a list of 10 AA games that you absolutely won't regret buying. Now we all know the big AAA titles tend to dominate the spotlight, but these AA games bring something unique to the table. They may not have the massive budgets, but what they lack in financial power, they more than make up for with creativity, innovation, and heart. Trust me, each of these games is a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. So let's get into it. Starting us off, we have Solar Ash. I think you already know that Heart Machine is all about creating visually stunning and emotionally resonant experiences. Solar Ash is no exception. The game drops you into this mesmerizing world of neon colors and surreal landscapes. You play as Ray, a Void Runner, trying to save her world from being swallowed by a massive black hole. One thing I love about Solar Ash is the fluidity of movement. Gliding through the environment feels incredibly satisfying, almost like you're surfing on clouds. The combat is fast-paced but never overwhelming, and the sense of scale when you're up against these gigantic, shadowy creatures is just epic. The world feels alive and vibrant, and it's a joy to explore every nook and cranny. If you're someone who enjoys games that let you lose yourself in a beautifully crafted universe, Solar Ash is one you can't miss. Next up is Kena Bridge of Spirits, a game that really surprised me with its depth and emotional weight. I went into it expecting a charming, visually stunning adventure, and it is that, but it's also so much more. You play as Kena, a young spirit guide helping lost souls move on to the afterlife, and along the way you're joined by these adorable little creatures called the Rot. What stands out for me is how Kena manages to balance its heartwarming story with intense action sequences. The combat is deceptively challenging, especially in the later stages, but it's always fair. The visuals are straight out of a Pixar movie. Seriously, the art direction is just phenomenal. But what really hooked me was the story. It's a tale about loss, healing, and the bonds we share with others. If you're into games that tug at your heartstrings while also offering solid gameplay, Kena is an absolute must-buy. Moving on to something a bit darker, let's talk about Nine Souls. This game is a brilliant fusion of cyberpunk aesthetics with Asian mythology. It really piles you in with its unique art style and compelling story. You play as Yi, a lone warrior on a mission to uncover the truth behind a dark conspiracy. The game is a story-driven platformer with fast-paced action that will keep you on your toes. One thing I really appreciate about Nine Souls is its hand-drawn art style. Each scene feels like a piece of art, and the world building is top-notch. The combat is tight and responsive with a mix of melee and ranged attacks that keep things interesting. But it's the story that really kept me hooked. It's full of twists and turns, and the world is steeped in lore that makes you want to explore every corner. If you're a fan of challenging games with rich narratives, Nine Souls will be right up your alley. Next, we have Banishers: Ghosts of New Eden. This game is from the same folks who brought us Life is Strange and Vampire. So you know you're in for a narrative-driven experience with some deep emotional undercurrents. You play as Antea and Red, a pair of ghost hunters in the 17th century, one of whom happens to be a ghost herself. The game is all about the bond between these two characters. They try to protect the living from the supernatural while dealing with their own tragic past. What I love about Banishers is how it blends exploration with intense combat. The decisions you make have real consequences, not just for the story, but for your relationships with other characters as well. The game world is hauntingly beautiful with an atmosphere that really draws you in. If you're someone who enjoys games that focus on character development and moral choices, Banishers should definitely be on your radar. At number 5, we have American Arcadia, a game that's as unique as it is intriguing. Set in a retro-futuristic city where everyone's lives are broadcast as a reality TV show, you play as a man who decides to escape this twisted utopia. The game is a mix of 2D platforming and first-person puzzle solving, and it offers a story that's both thought-provoking and engaging. What I find fascinating about American Arcadia is its commentary on modern society and the obsession with reality TV and surveillance. The game cleverly uses its setting to explore themes of freedom, individuality, and control. The gameplay is varied and keeps you on your toes, switching between different perspectives and gameplay styles. If you're into games that challenge your mind and offer something a bit different from the norm, American Arcadia is a must-play.
This is where the containers from all INAC employees are dumped to be processed and destroyed.
But that doesn't make any sense. INAC would lose millions if they just...
INAC can't lose shit because INAC is not a real company. It's just another one of Arcadia's intricate lies.
Next up is Remnant 2, the sequel to the hit game Remnant, From the Ashes. Now the original game was a sleeper hit with its blend of third-person shooting and challenging gameplay. And Remnant 2 takes everything that was great about the first game and cranks it up a notch. The game offers more weapons, more customization options, and even tougher enemies, all set in a dark, atmospheric world. One of the things I love most about Remnant 2 is its replayability. Each playthrough feels unique thanks to the game's procedural generation and diverse environments. The combat is as satisfying as ever, with a mix of strategic shooting and intense boss battles that really get your adrenaline pumping. If you're a fan of games that blend action and RPG elements with a high level of challenge, Remnant 2 is a no-brainer.
All right, let me get some.
At number 7 we have Another Crab's Treasure, which is probably the quirkiest game on this list, and I mean that in the best way possible. Imagine a Souls-like game, but instead of a gritty, dark fantasy world, you're in an underwater kingdom playing as a hermit crab. Your goal is to reclaim your stolen shell and survive in a world filled with bizarre creatures and hidden treasures. What makes Another Crab's Treasure so special is its charm and creativity. The art style is vibrant and colorful, making the underwater world feel alive and full of surprises. The combat, while challenging, is also incredibly fun, with unique mechanics that make each encounter feel fresh. Plus, there's something inherently funny about a tiny crab going on an epic quest. If you're looking for a game that's both challenging and delightfully weird, Another Crab's Treasure is one you'll definitely want to check out. Coming in at number 8 is Ghost Runner 2. If you played the first Ghost Runner, you know exactly what you're in for. Fast-paced, parkour-style action that demands precision and skill. The sequel builds on everything that made the original great, offering even more intense action and a larger world to explore. The game is all about speed, precision, and reflexes, and it's one of those games that really gets your heart racing. What I personally love about Ghost Runner 2 is how it makes you feel like a total badass when you pull off a perfect run. The satisfaction of chaining together wall runs, slides, and instant kills without missing a beat is just unparalleled. The new environments add more variety to the gameplay and the story, while secondary to the action still manages to pull you in. If you're a fan of adrenaline-pumping action games, Ghost Runner 2 is an absolute must-buy.
I close my eyes.
Next up is A Plague Tale: Requiem, the highly anticipated sequel to A Plague Tale: Innocence. This game continues the emotional journey of Amicia and her brother Hugo, as they navigate a world devastated by the plague and overrun by supernatural forces. The game mixes stealth action and a deeply engaging narrative that will keep you glued to your screen from start to finish. What I find truly remarkable about A Plague Tale: Requiem is how it manages to up the ante in every way compared to its predecessor. The story is darker and more intense, the environments are more varied and stunningly detailed, and the emotional weight of the character's journey is even more profound. The stealth mechanics are refined and the new abilities you gain add more depth to the gameplay. If you're looking for a game with a gripping story and atmospheric world, A Plague Tale: Requiem is a must-play.
Good. That will do. There you go.
Thank you!
Last but certainly not least, we have Sifu. This game is an absolute masterpiece of martial arts combat. You play as a young kung fu student on a quest for revenge, and every fight in this game feels like a dance of death. What's unique about Sifu is its aging mechanic. Every time you die, your character gets older. With age comes increased strength, but also fragility, adding a layer of strategy to how you approach each battle. For me, Sifu is one of those games that just nails its core gameplay loop. The combat is brutally difficult but incredibly rewarding. Each encounter is a test of your skill, reflexes, and patience, and the satisfaction you get from finally defeating a tough enemy is unmatched. The art style is also worth mentioning. It's sleek and stylish, with a presentation that feels like a living, breathing kung fu movie. If you're a fan of challenging, skill-based games, Sifu is a game you won't regret buying. This wraps up today's video about 10 AA games that deliver incredible experiences without the AAA price tag. So which of these games are you most excited to play? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more awesome gaming content. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.